Banshee.
Candy corn teeth?
Pumpkin spice liquor non-latte.
Snacking with myself.
Snacking with myself.
Snacking with myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting on the bench. Writing's really hard. We need another snack. And that is just a fact.
Hi, this is Shauna.
This is Trisha,
And this is Two Girls on a Bench.
the podcast.
Today we have a guest on the bench.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
So we have a guest and we are going to write with our guest on the bench.
Yes. And we're going to snack and chew loudly in her ear, perhaps? I don't know.
And we're probably going to procrastinate on the bench altogether.
I think we already have.
So Mel, please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your podcast.
Thank you guys so much. I am so excited to do all of those things on the bench with you guys. Especially procrastinate because we've all gotten so amazing at it today.
I know, right?
Yes, so I am the only host of the Brook Reading Podcast, where every week I read a novel or a short story or anything written. Basically, figure out if there are any movie adaptations or parodies or TV adaptations or anything like that, and basically discuss the ins and outs of that novel / adaptation, whatever the case, on my show.
I would never be able to do that kind of show because I would wait until the night before I recorded to read the whole book.
Oh no!
I swear to God, I would.
Talk about procrastinators.
I know, right?
Wow.
That
would have been incredibly difficult to do when I read like President Wilson's biography.
I was just going to say that.
Which was 700 pages.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
very organized.
Well, yeah, it helps being an English teacher. So that's where that comes from. And yeah, basically that's it. I've recently had to incorporate what Sean from What Does It Matter lovingly calls his favorite part of the episode, a 5-minute rant.
Yes.
Where I get to where I just get to go off on anything I want and clear the air, and then I get to enjoy talking about what I love, which is novels and reading and stuff like that.
We call that downloading before we upload.
Exactly. Oh my, wow,
Yeah.
That's such a great way to say that.
Yeah, so we do that too. Sometimes we have to sit here and just talk to each other for like an hour and catch up on all the drama and everything, and then we can move forward. And
sometimes we work it out on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, like these are our babies for a reason. Like, you know, this has been such a therapeutic exercise for me in the past year. It's been amazing. So
yeah,
awesome.
So it's been great to be a part of such a wonderful community too. Like all the groups we're a part of and all the collaboration we're doing for All the Horror, which I didn't even say that.
This is part of hashtag All the Horror,
That's
everybody.
Right. And so we are working with all these awesome podcasters to bring you an episode every day of October. And so this is part of our collaboration with Mel.
So with that in mind, we picked a short story because Trisha and I apparently are too lazy to
read a novel.
We have read novels, people. We actually were English majors. Yeah. You'd be a great teacher for us. Do you go by Mel or Melissa? I keep calling you Mel, and I realize, like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to call you the wrong name.
it is totally fine. All my friends that I met in college call me Mel. My mother hates it, but that's whatever. She also she doesn't listen to the show, so it's fine.
Okay.
I work with a Mel who's a Melissa, so I just automatically started calling you Mel. And
Me
then
too.
when we text about you, we call you Mel Brooks.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to tell you that. Yeah. I started saying Mel because I was getting confused and
She's
calling
like,
you
which
Brooke.
Melissa? Because there's another Melissa on One Giant Leap for Geeks named who goes by Mel, and so it'd be like Mel from this show, Mel from that show. So
And then I just said Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Oh my God, that's friggin' amazing. Holy shit. I didn't even That's so good.
Well, then one day Shauna's like, "Is that her last name?" And I'm like, "No, you made it up, stupid! Like that was your joke."
I forgot.
If I may, that is like, first of all, amazing, and I love it. Secondly, last year or earlier this year, when the Epic Film guys were doing their live stream for the cure for raising money for cancer research, I was typing in while they were live streaming, and I donated, and then like they were playing games, so I was like trying to play along, fun. Whatever, and they didn't really know me that well yet, so my like YouTube name or whatever was Brooke Reading, and he kept calling me Brooke.
Of course.
And I was like, do you think my first name is Brooke and my last name is Reading? Because that's
that
weird.
Would be a huge coincidence.
Yeah, right.
For an English teacher.
Yeah. That would be. It was like you wouldn't be able to do anything else. They're like, you don't have any choices. You have to be an English teacher. That's your career.
Yeah, exactly.
The counselor says.
That's hilarious.
Well, I want to start out with a quote from Ray Bradbury, who is seriously one of my favorite authors. And this is a good one. Your intuition knows what to write, so get out of the way.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, damn. So. I like that.
We discovered in getting ready for this that all of the Ray Bradbury theater, the old show from like the 80s, they're all on YouTube.
So
I don't know if you've ever watched that show, Mel, but it was it's all his short stories. Basically, he intros it and he sits in front of a typewriter in this room and he's like got all these like aliens and books and globes and shit all around the room, and he's like, where do I look to find my stories? I just look in my room and like find something to write about, and then he like types in the little typewriter. It was such a nostalgic thing to like watch that. Like,
I loved that show so much. And they did an adaptation of the story that we're doing, which is the Banshee
with Peter O'Toole, who's like amazing.
It was really great. And it's just like the story. I mean,
it's almost verbatim.
What's good about it is that, well, first of all, he wrote the screenplays or the teleplays, whatever you call them, for the show.
His stories lend to dialogue so easily.
Yeah.
And like all of them have that.
And they're short, so they're actually, it's not like, oh, this, they had to improvise a lot on the show, or, you know what I mean? Because it's like a short story. So like a half-hour show is perfect. And so anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. How do you feel about this story? Had you read it before?
No, I never did. And I was going to say, as I mentioned to you guys, I was trying to find it online to read it, and to no avail, unfortunately. Well, and then you guys were like, duh, English teacher, go to your library. And I was like, I'm a jerk.
Well, no, I was like, I didn't even think to look online. I'm sitting here with this like anthology of every single short story. Yes, I'm like, this is the biggest book
I don't
ever.
understand why I didn't think to go to the library. It's 5 minutes from my house, and that's where I get most of my books for my show. So I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Well, it seems like because it's so short, you might be able to find it somewhere, but yeah, you can definitely find the YouTube version. But
that's what had happened. So every time I was Googling it, it kept popping up like, watch the episode on Ray Bradbury Theater. I'm like, that's cool, but I don't want to right now.
Yeah.
So
you gotta do that after you read it.
Exactly. So I haven't gotten to check it out though, but after this, I will definitely watch it now, because the story was amazing. Holy shit, by the way. It was so good.
I have some interesting background on this story because I was just reading a couple of things, and apparently Ray Bradbury was making a movie with John Huston, and John Huston was a total jerk to him. And this is literally based on like their relationship with each other.
That's fabulous.
He was super upset and like felt kind of not bullied, but kind of bullied. He kind of bullies him around, right? And so I guess that's what, and that the character's name is John. And at one point he puts, well, in this show, not in here, he puts his initials JH.
Is John Hughes? Oh my God.
It's a big old dig. Sorry, John Hughes. Did I say John Huston?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Houston.
John Hughes, I meant to say. Anyway, so that's kind of an interesting little side note. But
I wonder why he did that. I wasn't quite sure. I thought it was just like
it's not even like a subtle dig. It's like, hey, I hate you. I wrote this whole story about it.
Wow. And then if you go outside and
you get
supernatural shit, I'm going to let you die.
You get eaten by a banshee. So this story opens up in Ireland, and it's about a screenwriter / slash story writer or just writer in general, and he's going to the house of his the director that's directing his movie that he's writing.
And it seems like they've worked together previously. Like
and they have a weird relationship, definitely.
Yeah. A creepy relationship.
Yeah, where the director is just kind of a jerk and he's sort of a philanderer. They make a lot of reference to him being a,
he's a misogynist. Like,
yeah, and he's just been around with hundreds of women or whatever. So
what's the director's name in it? Does he have a name?
He does. It's actually John, and you said,
oh,
yeah,
it
is
John.
John.
He's John Hampton.
Hampton. Okay.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Now you said he wrote about working with John Hughes, and he was a dick.
Yeah, that's what this is sort of about.
Is John Hughes is like cool, right?
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say I love him, but I mean I never worked with him.
But maybe he had it out, like he had it out for him. Like he was kind of like, I don't know if he was like maybe jealous of him, like his talent, or how people are weird with each other, and so they had like a weird relationship where it was like he was always like pulling pranks on him and like kind of like how it like sort of razzing him all the time and like anyway.
Well, I mean, what's the best way to make a writer feel bad?
Tell him that their writing's not good.
Yeah, criticize them and say it's in the New York Times. Like as a joke, I put some bad shit about you in the New York Times. Sorry, it's a joke. What's wrong with you?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I don't want to be like.
Shauna's looking it up to make sure.
Now I got worried.
Well, no, I mean, we don't know. We never had the opportunity to work with him. He could have been like.
Maybe it is John Huston. Wait.
Who's John Huston?
I don't know.
Isn't that the guy that played the dad in Addams Family on the show? Hey, listeners, listen, this is live. This is what it's like, okay? So if you don't like it, it's a free podcast.
This is how you figure it out.
Exactly. No. I'm curious now who the hell John Huston is.
John Huston is
not the person.
Is a filmmaker.
It's got to be John Hughes then.
No, it says, wait, John Huston, American-Irish film director.
Oh, what? It is John Huston then.
Ding, ding, ding.
I said that and then I was like,
oh,
so it
funny.
Is. That's why they're in Ireland. Duh.
Yeah, and it looks like he does. It looks like he does mostly like scary films. Yeah, that's fun. And I haven't seen any of it.
Not John Hughes, who directed like The Breakfast Club.
That's
right. Like Say Anything.
Yeah,
and like
I'm like John
Pretty in
Hughes,
Pink.
I know, and I remember thinking.
Yeah, Pretty in Pink.
Also thinking like how were they working together?
Like, how did that even happen?
Ray Bradbury's like, these are teenage banshees.
I know. Oh, how funny.
So,
okay.
Not John Hughes.
Good call, Melissa. Like
John Huston, different person. Anyway, sorry, getting back into the story and not like the gossip behind it, which I just went straight for that. I just thought it was interesting because it was so
interesting, dude.
It was so overt too. It was like, oh, his name's John Hampton. It was like really, you didn't barely change the name. Like,
yeah.
Might as well just put it all out there for everybody to see.
Don't piss off Ray Bradbury.
Yeah. So anyway,
you in a story forever.
Yeah, and get you killed. So sorry. Go ahead and. So what was your take on it? I'm sorry, we got really sidetracked.
No, it's totally fine. So I had never read this before. The only Bradbury I've ever read was Fahrenheit, and There Will Come Soft Rains, which is like one of my favorite short stories of all time. But this was amazing. I liked the interplay between the two of them at the beginning, but I know Ray Bradbury's an amazing writer. Like but the whole scene where, what the hell's the narrator's name? Doug, where he meets the Banshee. Oh my God. I almost cried. I was like, if I could write half as good as this, I could die happy tomorrow.
And when he was talking about, the feeling that men get when beauty passes and will not pass again, and the summer walks away in her flesh never to return, I was like, I've never heard anyone talk about a beautiful woman in that way. Like there's a like, I don't know. I mean, I know it's kind of, I don't want to be like sexist to say like, okay, so women are prettier than men or whatever, but the way he described it was just so subtle, and like she was just so breathtaking that he couldn't even explain the pain of never being able to see her again. Yeah. Like it was really beautiful.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I didn't get really like sexist from the narrator, thank goodness.
No.
Because I think it was, first of all, it was just like so ingrained in the director character, like there was none left for the other guy.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, obviously I'm a huge fan of beautiful women. and if I could describe them as half as amazingly as that, I would have so many. I would have
had so many women.
I just wouldn't be able to keep the door closed. I mean, that's insane. Like, what woman wouldn't want to be spoken to that way?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the part that like melted my heart, made me happy.
Yeah. Well, I loved all the stuff that in Bradbury, the way he describes things is so unique. Like, he'll use words that I know, but I never would have organized in that way. So like he talks about the window rattling with brittle moonlight. I'm like, brittle moonlight. I know exactly what that is. I can picture it, but I would never have thought to describe moonlight as brittle. Like the just the language that he uses. I had to write down a couple of them because.
Well, I had one at the beginning too. So just thinking about them being in Ireland, it being cold and damp, and sort of the haunting mood of it all, I think, to get the sort of creepy part of the banshee and all of that. But this line, I've read this like 5 times because I just was like, what's happening? This is actually in the very beginning. So he pays the driver, he gets dropped off at the director's house and he pays the driver. And it says, I stood in the midnight silence, breathing in Ireland and breathing out the damp coal mines in my soul.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I
mean, God damn it. That's good stuff.
Right? I know. You're like, God. So I just read it like 5 times. I was like, what? Coal mines in my soul? Ah, you know, I was like losing my mind.
Well, and we should say for the listeners, if you haven't read this, so we started to talk about the premise. I don't think we finished it. So
oh yeah, we should. Sorry.
So there's a screenplay and short story author on his way to see his director for this next film they're doing about a beast, seems. And his name's Doug, and so he goes to John, which we've established, John Hampton, his house in Ireland to go over the new pages for perhaps the ending, it seems like, the way he describes it, of the screenplay. And all along the story, John, the director, keeps hinting that he can hear the banshee. He talks about the banshee outside, that it's the cry of when someone's going to die. How does he say it? What it is? Yeah, so it's like when someone's going to die, there's like a cry of a woman.
He did mention that. I think it was the last couple times he had heard the howl or the sob or whatever. Yeah, he had started to mention like death more.
Yeah, and I just also like their whole, we kind of talked about this before, but their whole relationship. So the whole time he seems to be sort of jealous of Doug's / Bradbury's. He seems to be jealous of his talent. You know, he keeps saying, God damn it, this is amazing.
Yeah,
God damn it. And he's throwing the pages on the floor as he's reading them. And he's just like, you know, kind of razzing them the whole time. You know, and he's sort of doing what we just did, which he's going, God damn it, this is a good line. You know what I mean? And it's so funny that he seems to elicit this, you know, reaction in everyone.
It's the ghosts of old women who haunt the roads an hour before someone dies. That's what the banshee is described as in the very beginning. Sorry, I had to find it. But then he basically he's like, nah, I'm fucking with you. There's no banshees out there. Like, and then he's like, no, just kidding. Go out there and see if you find one.
Yeah. Are you yellow? Are you gonna, you know, are you scared? It was
dude. Well, that's what he does to him through the entire thing. Like, he's just like, oh yeah, did you hear your reviews in the paper? Let me read it to you. Wow, this writer's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And then comes back, he's like, nah, just joshing with you, bro. You're fine.
Yeah, just
like,
kidding.
What are you doing?
Then he's all, actually, I wrote it about you. And I had to say some bad things to make it sound realistic. It was like such a
and then he's like,
move.
I'm going to throw it in the fire. You can't read it. It's just, what a jerk.
I know. He's like a 12-year-old on the playground. Like, hey, just kidding. Like,
and the jealousy is really thick, I feel like, between the two of them. Mm-hmm. Like, the director's jealous of the writer has talent, but the writer is jealous. I think that the director has power.
Yeah, I don't know if he's jealous or he's just like very aware of it.
Yeah.
I think where it's sort of like, okay, I have to deal with this because he's this big director and my fate is sort of hanging in a balance because I mean that is a different power dynamic between a director and a writer, I think in, screenplays.
Yeah, no, the director can make or break you just with one flippant decision. And it's that whole thing like, we were talking about destroying your darlings. It's that like where you take your best piece to somebody and they're just like throwing it on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, God, great. Thanks for, and that was like when they typed things. So I'm like, does he have a
there's
copy?
not a copy. I was all worried about that too.
I was worried about that the whole.
Well, don't throw it in the fire.
I know. I was like, God damn it, you're going to lose that whole scene.
Yeah. Like there's no backup file of that. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you bring a flash drive, Doug? Please back up your work. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, because the Bradbury doesn't really tell us who the Banshee is and why she's waiting for him. Obviously he is, like we said, a misogynist. Like he treats women like they compare women to like bottles of cellar in the wine where you know the year, but you don't know the name.
Bottles of wine in the cellar.
Did I say cellars in the wine? God damn it. Bottles of wine in the cellar. Bottles of cellars in the wine. That's a good one. Okay. Anyways, so he treats women like that. So he doesn't know their name and he just like sifts through them and uses them. And they make that very clear. So does he also, at one point I kind of got the feeling that maybe he, like, in addition to emotionally hurting or scarring women, that he literally hurts them, like from what she was saying.
Yeah, I kind of
like,
got that vibe too
them?
a little bit. Which is upsetting.
Like a serial killer or a rapist? I mean...
Well, I mean, I feel like she's a ghost. This is what I took on it, that she's a ghost from the past because she says, oh, it's William that lives there. Willie, whatever, she keeps saying his name is. And he says, well, his name isn't that. And she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, basically, like, they're all the same.
So she's
like,
representing...
all men are the same. And whoever's there, he's just like the other ones. Like, that was how I got it.
I thought maybe it was he had a soul. I read a lot into this. He has like a reincarnated soul of an asshole guy.
That's possible.
And he just continues to like treat women the same way. And so she's just like, his soul needs to lay like a rock in the river or whatever.
Yeah, she's just going to lay down and keep him there.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, do it. This is very timely.
I know. We're like, put him out of commission. It's done.
Let's get that Banshee to go somewhere else and talk to somebody else. I'm not going to get political. Sorry. I'm all...
I definitely agree, though, because I think I like that you guys kind of took it as, like, just whomever is living in that house is just that type of person, and they just represent every... bad abusive man that exists. Right, I kind of took it in the same way. Like she's just the representation of every woman who's been abused that like they don't have a voice. So she's like the representation of their voice and their like vengeance and their, their
when did he write this story?
Kind of thing.
That was a much more clear way of saying it than
I know, right?
Either one of us said it.
I'm like, they're like,
I'm starting to understand it better when you talk.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sweet. But I wouldn't have remembered. Okay, wait a minute, though. I wouldn't have remembered I said, or that I had written that down unless you guys had, put it in there first. So it's all a wonderful cycle of, now I can't think of the word I want to say.
Well, we are not jerks like, John Hampton, so we can all work together and be really nice.
Right?
Which is what it would be like if women were running stuff. What?
Hi.
But, yeah, but it's, I don't know. It's just, it's so creepy. I think what I always love about Ray Bradbury's creepy stories is that, I don't know if you've ever, I don't think I've read the story, but seen the movie Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Mm-hmm. I read
that. I don't know if I read it, but I know I saw the movie for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's like this sort of subtle, it's not horror in the sense of like gore. You know what I mean? It's more, but it's sort of like there's something creepy going on. It's based on like, sort of folklore or legends or tales or and it's kind of there and it's sort of living beside you.
It's like the feeling when the hairs stand up on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that kind of stuff. See, that,
right?
That's scarier. That's scarier than the stupid ass jump scares that everybody relies on now.
No, because it sticks with you, a lot more. And I think it
feels
just
possible, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's a more human sort of approach to it, too, where it's like playing on your own insecurities and feelings and your own, this whole story is so tense because they have so much tension between the two of them. And then there's this banshee that's just basically saying, all this bad stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm falling apart on that part, but anyone pick up on what I'm trying to say here?
No, exactly. Like
I lost it. Trisha's looking at me like really puzzled, and I was like, I'm starting to lose it. I'm losing the thread.
No, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're like, no, it's because you're dealing with like the realistic struggle between the two guys that they've already come with, right? And then like throwing in this like kind of supernatural, but still super, super based in realism. Like other issue just makes the tension worse, makes you start to like really digest these things in your head more and bring it to like a deeper level. And like you said, that's what's scarier. That's what's more suspenseful than friggin' some demon wiggling at you coming at this like movie screen. Like,
That's funny.
Out of a well with long greasy hair.
Like, I just
take a shower, bitch.
I was watching some terrible. It was like a Lifetime version of a horror movie on TV the other day. And it was called like House of the Witch or some shit. It was incredibly awful. And it just relied on that the whole time. Like the girl is looking in the mirror and she only sees herself. And then she turns around and then she looks back and it's some creepy lady in the mirror.
There it is.
I'm so over that.
No, it's much harder to tell a more complicated story. But also I think it's interesting because like the banshee, I mean, I didn't do any research on this. I'm just going to wing it. But the banshee is sort of, that woman in white haunting character that exists in practically every culture, where it's like there's a scary woman like La Llorona, where it's like she's maybe out trying to find her kids that got lost in the river, or she's looking for a lost love, like this one where it's more like she's howling for her lost love. So it's like there's always, it seems like I don't know all of them.
There's even a movie called The Lady in White about, I think it's the
same kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing, like
children.
The Lady in White. Somebody else did a podcast about it, and I'm blanking on, it might have been Resting Witch Face, but about the Lady in White, story, because it's such a sort of a classic cultural everywhere kind of,
So it must be real.
It's probably real. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure it's based in like you said, it's based in like folklore and like the tall tales of the day, but I'm sure it had to have a starting point somewhere.
Well, I mean, so many people have ghost stories.
Yeah.
I mean, there's whole podcasts devoted to that.
Yeah, everybody does.
So, a restless soul seeking, redemption or revenge or, some kind of closure makes sense that it's in every culture. Because,
So unresolved, whatever.
I mean, isn't that kind of like a general thought? Like an unresolved spirit can't rest. So,
and she's gonna get him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that in the story, the author he gets John to go outside to the banshee. She's like basically saying to him, "Send him out to me, and I'll take care of it." And
so many words.
Doug's so pissed at him after the whole, review, throwing it in the fire, and criticizing his writing, trying to basically break him down. Is what it feels like. That he says, you know what, you should go outside and see the banshee. And
go check it out.
And he's like, wait, it's a beautiful, the director, John, is like, it's a beautiful woman just standing there with no weapon. That's what caught me in the story too. He says, with no weapon at the end of the driveway.
Sure.
And Doug's like, yeah, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then John goes out there. Doug makes a total decision to just like go to bed and pull the covers over his head. And he's like, I can't hear anything. I can't hear you screaming or scratching or begging to come back in the house because.
But he actually does tell him that she's dead.
She does. He does.
He says like, he says, oh, there's a woman out there. Because at first, Doug
he's gonna send her.
Yeah, he thinks that they're playing a hoax on him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's your friend dressed up outside.
Your maid or whatever.
Yeah, trying to like, you guys are trying to get me. But then he starts to realize like, this is a real thing. And so then he comes back and he says she's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But then he's like, oh yeah, but she's dead. And so then at that point, John's like, whatever.
And he's like, well, that doesn't matter. If she's beautiful and has no weapon, I'm on it.
Yeah.
He deserved everything he got.
I know, exactly. That's just his way of being like, yeah, well, she has no power, so what the hell do I have to be afraid of?
Right?
It's like, dude, you have no idea.
And they do that. So in the Ray Bradbury theater version, they the door shuts by itself as John goes out, which was kind of effective because it was almost like once you open the door to the Banshee, like the Banshee has power over you or something. Yeah. And then the screenwriter Doug just sits on the stairs and like listens to the scratching and banging on the door, and then it ends.
Ooh, but I like that too.
Yeah, it was a good like twist, and obviously Bradbury wrote that one too. So.
Yeah, well, visually it's like you have to do something like that, I think. But yeah, it was.
But they took out the line about the weapon. I don't recall hearing him say, "Does she have a weapon?"
Huh?
Yeah, I don't remember
in the visual one,
maybe.
And, but in the story, I was like, I don't know why that hit me as being
because he's
strange.
like, oh, she's vulnerable.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm out there.
Reiterated the creepiness of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's cool too because he's like a bad guy, and it's like she wants the bad guy. She doesn't want Doug. Because like you think like, well, she could like just, you know what I mean? Like she could just use a spirit. I guess she could hurt
I wish
you.
I would have met you before I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a sweet man with a family and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, she has no reason to hurt him. She knows, she can just tell by talking to him that he's never been the type of guy to wreak havoc on a woman the way that douchebag has.
Yeah, I know. We should just call him
From
douchebag.
now on, we'll just call him douchebag.
John the douchebag.
Well, this was an awesome story. I mean, thank you for sharing this one with us. Do you have any other closing thoughts on this story, or Bradbury related?
No, he's just fucking great. This was like, I'm so glad that you guys asked me to take part in this with you, because just getting the opportunity to read this, I can't wait to find an opportunity to teach this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like see, this is kind of why I wish I was still teaching high school. I would teach middle school, and I don't feel like they would have a complete grasp of this. But like if I were teaching kids 16, 17, 18, who are maybe unfortunately, guys who are starting to treat girls terribly, and, this might not change their minds, but maybe just like change their outlook of how they see girls.
To it.
Put a little fear in them.
Yeah.
Hey, if you fuck up, the Banshee's gonna get you.
Like, exactly.
Let's not. I mean, they should think and be cool and everything, but nothing scares you like a ghost that's gonna come and get you if you mess up. So.
Listen, for real.
Keep it in line.
Exactly.
Don't be a dick.
Well, it's funny. I actually. Did I talk about Ray Bradbury before on our podcast?
We talked about how he was at our graduation, but we didn't get to he didn't get to speak. He was just got an honorary degree when he graduated from college. And we were so excited. We're like, he's going to be at our graduation ceremony.
It's so like meaningful. And then it was like, bye.
Here's an honorary degree. I don't even remember what it was for. And then he went back and sat down. And we were like, really? That's it? You're not going to let him talk?
And he's a really good speaker too. Yeah, so that sucks.
You heard him speak.
Yeah, I've seen him. I saw him a few times. And actually, the book. So the short story collection that this is in is called The Toynbee Convector. Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to figure out how old I was in 1988. How old was I in 1988? I was probably like in middle school actually. And he came out. He used to go to libraries all the time. Oh, he's such a lovely person. He wrote a lot of his books in the UCLA library.
You were 14.
14. Okay. So he wrote a lot of his books in the UCLA library. And so when he died, I happened to be working at UCLA. And I got really weepy about the whole thing. Aww. I was like, are you guys doing anything? Like, I was like running around because I worked in the sciences. And I was like, but I did fundraising in the sciences. I don't do the sciences, but I ran over to the humanities people and I was like, what are you guys going to do about Ray Bradbury? And they were like, nothing. And I was like, what?
They did nothing?
I think they probably did something, but not as big as I wanted.
At least like give him a bench or something.
I don't know. It's just like, give him a bench.
Give him a bench. He deserves a freaking bench in the garden.
But yeah, I saw him in a library when I was a young girl, and he was just like the loveliest man. And he signed my book, which I need to find it somewhere. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This book. That's why I kept talking about it, but I didn't. Anyway, I think I took a bunch of my books, but he was signing like the new one. It was this one. Yeah. So, or at that time it was. So anyway, I have to find it. I had to go
can you sign all my books?
I know. And he was like, get out of the way, little girl. I was kind of like a little fangirl with him for a minute there. And then he came and did a live reading of Fahrenheit 451.
Oh my gosh.
After college, when I was like in my 20s, and at a theater in North Hollywood where they had like actors and stuff. And the actors read
like the dialogue?
I guess they read I'm trying to remember how they did it, but I mean, they've made it in a movie several times.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they just redid
it. They just redid it. I saw it. It was okay.
Yeah,
it was interesting, but I don't know. You know, when there's something missing, where you're like, you're not capturing the love,
especially if you love the book.
Yeah,
I mean, Brooke.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous that you've gotten to experience him, and even in that, you know, like what most people would be like, oh my God, well, it's just, you know, it's just like a small little thing. He signed your book, big deal. But that's huge.
No, it's huge. I've gotten very lucky getting to see authors I like and, you know, kind of getting that chance. So anyway, he's very special. Ray Bradbury.
Love it.
Good night. So now I think we're going to do a writing prompt.
Yes.
With you.
Okay.
If you're ready for it.
Wow.
All right, so we're going to do...
I need you to make that sound all the time. That was my favorite.
So we're going to pause for 3 minutes, listeners, and we're going to all do this writing prompt, and then we will share it with you. And that's it. That's what we're going to do.
All right. Write it, bitch.
So we're back with our writing prompt, and I will read what it is, and then we will all share it. We all paused and stayed connected, but paused and put a timer on for 3 minutes, which is what we do with our writing prompts. No editing, no filtering, no disclaimers, so no one's allowed to say this is bad or I don't know what I wrote, which is like what we still kind of do sometimes, even though we're not supposed to, because this is just all about getting.
We just do it with our eyes to each other now, like.
Yeah. So here's the.
That was a big groan. Sorry.
Oh, geez.
Might cut that out.
Okay. So here's the writing prompt. I felt something cold touch my shoulder and started to turn around slowly. So, Mel, as our guest of honor, would you like to share first?
Sure. Thank you so much. Okay. The cold breeze from the open window enveloped me, and I thought I saw something. Shuddering, but feeling stupid, I resumed my typing. The feeling upon my shoulder returned, stronger this time, and swept across my neck to my other arm. The scar upon my right shoulder burned, as though dry ice was being rubbed across it. I instantly glanced towards the mark and saw smoke, heavy, dense, gray, billowing up from the surface of my skin. Not wanting to see what was causing it, I turned my head away. The massive black figure that was racing towards me caused me to pass out from fear.
That's it?
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
I know.
What is it?
We're both like,
what happened?
I wish there was a video on our faces because we're like, what?
That was
Your
awesome.
scar was burning like dry ice. Like,
I
that
know.
was so good. Oh,
Yay! You Ray Bradbury'd it.
you win.
Oh my God, that's like shut up. That's like an amazing compliment.
Seriously, that's a
Well, I
great
really wanted
story.
it to keep going. I was like, "You're done. I need a little bit more."
That was a perfect. It's actually a perfect little short story, though. Like,
Maybe I will.
yeah,
Shit. See, that's what we love is like when we get started and you're like, you should keep going with that.
Yeah.
When we've done Right Club and people send us stuff or we've had guests and they come out, you're like, hey, you should kind of keep going with that because that started something really interesting. So that's cool.
one of the other podcasters we know hit me up on Twitter. I forgot to tell you about our Lucifer or the devil is your roommate story, and he's like,
I loved those. Oh my God,
they were so fun,
amazing.
Yeah.
So he goes, he does a podcast called Stories of Your and Your, and he's amazing. His name's Sean, and he was like, hey, if you girls write that, hit me up. I'll do it on my show. And I was like, dude, we should totally
That's a funny
finish it.
one.
But
Okay, so
that was so good, Melissa.
That was great.
I don't want to read mine now.
No,
I'm
you
gonna
No.
just
disclaim
go.
it.
Don't
Thank
be a
you so much.
disclaimer.
Yes, don't
All right.
do that. Don't.
Yeah, Trisha. God.
Good.
All right. You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I felt something cold touch my shoulder and started to turn around slowly. There she was. I knew she'd be there. Creepy little white girl in a tattered nightgown. How the hell did she reach my shoulder? She's doing that weird staring thing. This is so lame. What? What the fuck do you want? How is she not blinking? I bet if this was a movie, she'd be flickering with static and shit. Dirty little girl, go away. I'm out of here. Ugh, why are her hands so cold and clammy and wet? Gross. Damn it, you're leaving wet footprints on my tile. Beat it, kid. But Aunt Amy, I think I peed my bed.
Oh my God. That was friggin' amazing. But that was hysterical.
That was so great. You're like, she's so disgusting.
And she's all
I
wet
felt
and
so
gross.
bad laughing out
scary
loud. I'm
little
like,
white
shit, I
girl.
need to let her read.
No. Laughing out loud is good.
Oh no, that
It
was
was supposed to be funny.
That was
I was too intimidated by Ray Bradbury to be scary, so I went the only other direction I know how to go in, which is funny.
and mine is actually like sad, maybe.
Oh, well, good. We've got like
Totally.
scary,
I know
funny. We've got all the emotions
We
covered.
really kind
There we
of
go.
it's I'm glad that we all did something really different.
Yeah.
That's actually
Super
kind of
fun.
cool. Okay. Okay, I felt something cold touch my shoulder and started to turn around slowly. An icy feeling seeped into my chest. I was afraid to turn, but morbid curiosity made me turn. I turned to see my dog, Angel, who was licking my shoulder. Tears welled up in my eyes. Bones, I cried, and tried to hug her, but she was transparent somehow here. I looked over at the bookshelf that held her ashes. Angel, I said, and she wagged her tail. I was so overcome with love for her, it didn't even seem like a ghost was licking my shoulder. I wanted to hang on forever, but just as quickly as she appeared, she faded slowly enough for me to say goodbye.
Aw, Sean.
Oh, I know.
And that's like a real story too. Like she had
Well, my dog didn't haunt me.
well,
but-
maybe she did. But as far as Angel Bones, that's what they called our dog, Angel
We used to
Bones.
call her Bones.
And
Oh, that's so sweet.
so she just
Sorry, it went that way, and I kept trying to change it. Like in my mind, I was like, and then
No,
I was
that's
like, you know
really
what? This
sweet.
is what's popping into my head right now. I
Yeah.
don't know why, and so
Yeah.
I just went with it. But like normally, I'm not that sentimental. But like I don't know what it was. It just like stuck with me, and I was like, well, this is what I have in my brain. So
I was gonna cry.
Yeah.
I know I thought you were, and I was also gonna cry, which is why I put my book up in front of me so I couldn't see
Into
your
my
face.
face.
Oh my God, that's hard. Yeah, you guys are like right in front of each other.
Yes,
Just
literally.
Like I can sit here and cry, but you can't see me. So.
It happened.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Aw.
well, that was kind of a
We
downer.
love
We should end it
dogs.
on yours.
I know Melissa has. You have cats, right, Melissa?
What's that?
You have kitty cats, right?
I have a kitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cats.
Yeah, we're allergic to cats.
Yeah, we're dog
We're those people.
Well, I'm allergic to cats in that I hate them.
Oh.
But
okay, that's more what we actually feel, but we don't like to say it because it hurts people's
no,
feelings.
please, you can totally say it.
Well, I mean, if you're allergic, there's a reason to hate them because you're like, I can't go to someone's house that has a cat because like I have to leave because I start to get sick and So I mean,
exactly.
But so you don't like them? How did
no,
you
my
get
like
one?
quote unquote allergy is that I fucking hate cats. But I always had dogs growing up. In fact, oh my god, when I was 15, we inherited this little mutt, and he died when I was like 32.
Oh man!
So we had him for such a long time, and oh my god, he was my best friend. But when my better half and I came together and we talked about a pet. She always had animals growing up too. She loves cats, and I didn't win that battle, but but it's totally okay. Like, first of all, my cat is such a dog.
Oh, that's good.
See, that's probably like
that's the kind of cat I can get behind. Like not like a weird. It sounded weird. Like a weird sneaky cat that doesn't like want to be touched. Like
they just seem like they have so many issues.
They're like weird teenagers.
I remember we had a friend in college, and she would, they are. She'd be like, she likes everyone, but she doesn't like people, but she likes them. And I was like, what? Why is this so complicated?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I can't get into that.
No, my cat's not complicated at all. She loves everybody. She loves being touched. She like, you come into my house and she like lays on her back. She's like, hey, what's up? Like,
like a dog. Yeah.
She's exactly. That's why I like her.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, okay, you're cool with me. I'll never be able to have another cat, but she's fine.
My aunt had a cat when I was younger because I didn't develop allergies to cats until I was in my 20s for some reason. I don't know why.
Wow.
I always had it since I was little.
I didn't. Well, maybe I did, but I did, or it was the certain kind of cat didn't get to me. But so my aunt Johnny had a cat, and it used to lick our earlobes to like wake us up in the morning. And
ew,
yeah, it was pretty nasty. I wasn't crazy.
That's a horror story.
Yeah, right there. Like something
you could have gone there with this one. She
licked
my
really.
shoulder and then my
shoulder. Well, I found out I was allergic on basically it was like almost a date, and we went to see my friend's little brother's kittens named Ben and Jerry. So cute, right? They were like orange and brown. It was like super cute. So I played with these kittens. I've never played with kittens really before. I rub my face on them, and they were like so little and tiny and cute or whatever. And then we went out. We were gonna go out to dinner. We were just friends, but. We were in his truck and we're driving, and I was like, God, my nose is like running like crazy right now, and my eyes are watering, and wow, my face itches. And then we stopped and turned the light on, and my whole face was like destroyed with allergies. My eyes were like swollen shut because I've been rubbing them, not thinking I was making, it makes it worse. And so he like got some napkins from like 7-Eleven and like took me home. I was just like, oh God. I'm allergic to kittens.
No, it's the worst. Like, I mean, and I get like where I can't breathe.
Yeah, me too.
That's usually where it goes for me. And then I have to leave. I remember I went to this party for the end of Lost. You know the show Lost?
Yeah, at your cousin's.
My cousin and her partner with all their friends, they were doing this big Lost finale party. And I fell asleep because I took like a Benadryl because I was dying.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally missed the ending, which is kind of hilarious. And
you went to a Lost party and slept through the ending.
Yeah, I passed out because I was
it's probably better
up.
because it wasn't very satisfying.
It's such a weird story. But like I just remember I felt bad because they really like went all out and they put like rocks everywhere that said Lost.
It was cute.
And like they did like a big thing and they were so into it. And then I was like, I'm like, I can't deal with the cats in here. I was like gonna die. Anyway.
Oh no.
So that went a weird turn, but anyway.
I know. Well, cat allergy stories. I have more, but I'm not going to tell them.
Yeah, I can tell like 20 of them right now. We're so stupid. Okay.
I feel like a lot of them always happened on dates for me or like at someone's house I was trying to impress where all of a sudden my face just gets destroyed. Like that's just the story of my life.
Anyway. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was so much fun.
Thanks for writing with
definitely.
us, too.
That was good. Yours was so good. I want to see more.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
Please write more.
I'll try.
We'll hit up Sean from Stories of You Are Your, and we'll like just give him a collection of shit to read on this show. I bet he'll like it.
Cool. Cool. Well, thank you. And, good luck with your next book. I'm sure you'll be on top of reading it and be very organized. I'm so impressed with you.
Yeah, don't invite Trisha and Shauna to read a book with you. Unless it's something we've already read.
If we've already, yeah. We're like, that's a great book. I don't have to read it again. Just kidding.
I know.
Well, we said that, like The Catcher in the Rye. I was like, I already read that book. I can listen to that one.
I did. I started rereading it before I listened. I almost made it through the whole thing before I listened to your show on it.
It's such a small book, too. How
it's a very tiny book.
Yeah.
No.
I always tell people if you don't care about spoilers, go ahead and listen. Like,
you don't have to. I'm not going to read the presidential books you read, but I was thankful for your podcast because now I can talk about it like I did.
I feel like that about a lot of stuff actually, where I listen to it and I'm like, I wouldn't have or even watched the movie maybe or anything, but I still but I like listening to the way people talk about it, and I'm like, that was really, I learned a lot right now, and now I just
now I don't have to go do it myself. Thank you.
Thanks for doing it for us.
Exactly. That's what I think I think it was like Stork or somebody from Besotted Geek was like, it's like listening to an audiobook, except you get all the best parts of the book and you can skip all the crappy parts. Like, exactly.
No, it's perfect.
That's totally fine.
It is. So don't be intimidated if you haven't listened to Brooks reading. I'm going to fuck up the name.
Brooke.
Brooke. There's only one Brooke. It's not Brooks with an apostrophe. I do know the name of your show, Brooke Reading Podcast. But anyways, don't be intimidated if you haven't read the book. Go read, go listen, even if you're just interested in the topic. Because it's like, you have a library now of topics. So it's kind of fun to just hear them all. And the last episode with all the recommendations was super fun too.
Yeah, I'm trying to do different stuff like that too. So it's not just like you said, these massive novels where people feel like they can't catch up. And now like you said, you get new recommendations.
Yep.
Or, I even started doing some of the novels that I teach. So young people can listen to. And obviously those are difficult because I have to not be explicit.
No swearing. Yeah.
So that's fun. But I'm trying to diversify.
You're like, this is the Cliff Note version for all of you in 7th grade.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell your teacher. And if I'm your teacher, I'm going to know.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right, well,
tell everybody where to find you on any social media that you'd like
Twitter.
to share.
Don't let me do it.
Thank you. I only have the one. You can find me on Twitter at BrookeReadingPod, or you can email me at brookereading@gmail.com. And I'm on most of the podcatchers, so iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or my direct download from Libsyn. So I always post that on Twitter. And thank you guys so much for having me. You guys are one of my podcasting heroes. So this was really amazing to be on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was that?
God damn it, I love snacks.
You heard it here first.
Trisha had to tell me to stop eating because I would chew into the microphone.
And I take a break.
And I threw it back in the bowl. I was like, all right.
Snack book. So should I say what the snack book is? Just a little recap.
Just a little ditty.
It's a little, just a little ditty about
snack book
and snack book. That didn't sound like Jack and Diane at all.
It sounds like nothing.
Nothing. So anyways, we were going to write a book when we were bloggers about all the snacks that we like to eat when we're writing, to reward ourselves or whatever. And we never did because we procrastinated it. But instead, we still call it Snack Book.
And there will be a snack book one day, people. And just wait for it. Just wait on your, Amazon or wherever you wait for books. Barnes and Nobles, if you can find one somewhere.
No real bookstores.
Your local bookstore. Maybe a library.
It can't be it's got to be downloadable on something that shows pictures because it's going to be a coffee table book with a bunch of pictures.
It's going to be a beautiful coffee table book.
Or maybe just not.
Maybe for... Yeah, we don't know. This is great. This is a great thing for everyone to get excited about. That was a really good
explanation about Snack Book. So then, now you know.
We have some guests that provided us with our favorite candy, and we're going to eat a candy right now that is a classic.
Yes.
It is a classic. People either love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Do you love it?
I love it.
Okay, good.
Not too much of it.
No, I mean it can get a little rum.
Yeah.
So we're talking about candy corn.
Candy corn. Now, do you like the big pumpkin candy corn? Because some people only like the corn.
Yeah, I like the pumpkin. I like all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not really discriminating about my candy corn.
I feel like when I was a kid, sometimes there was even bigger pieces of candy corn, like fall leaves.
Oh, I don't remember
like
that.
imagining that. But
maybe that's like a Midwest thing or something. No, I'm serious.
I don't know. Or it could
Midwesterners, like, tell us about your
candy corn.
Your
experience.
candy corn.
What shape is your candy corn? Mine's a pumpkin.
So you know what I used to do with the candy corn? Did I ever tell you this?
Did you
once?
make Dracula's teeth? Because like everybody does that.
Oh, it's so special. No, I would just make them all teeth and just save them.
White pieces?
This is like weird serial killer weird.
So you would bite the yellow and orange part off.
So I'm doing this for Trisha so she can see.
And save all the white pieces in a pile.
Mm-hmm. And then I would eat all
String
of them.
on a necklace.
With like... Yeah.
And what was special about eating just the little white part?
I don't know. I just do weird stuff like that.
Why has it got to be white, Shauna?
I used to always like... Thanks. I used to always like separate like the colors of my M&Ms too. I'm like... I have some weird... Yeah, I have some weird things like that.
Oh, I don't have that.
I have a couple of weird things like that.
I don't have that at all.
Well,
I just shove all the colors of everything in my mouth at once. No discrimination here.
And we have also today...
Yes.
Tell them about it, Trisha.
Well,
because you made it.
It's the pumpkin spice time of year, as everybody knows, and people also either hate it or love it.
Yeah, for sure.
We like it. I wouldn't say we're dying over it or anything.
I'm not like going to get like every pumpkin spice. I'm not hashtagging pumpkin spice.
I do like
everywhere. What is it? Pumpkin spice all day
for life or every day all day
for life. Get like a tattoo. Pumpkin spice for life. It's like a big pumpkin.
And like a little spice jar.
Oh my god,
that's my tattoo.
That would be so sad.
All right, no, we're not.
We're only bring it out like 1 month a year.
We're not tattooing ourselves with pumpkin spice, but so I do appreciate the Trader Joe's pumpkin spice line. Okay. Although it is pretty obnoxious, but they do have some good muffin mixes and pancake mixes. I like those.
And so what did you get today?
So at Trader Joe's, I actually got this pumpkin liqueur. So it's like
pumpkin spice liqueur.
Pumpkin spice
liqueur. Kind of like Bailey's.
It's like Bailey's,
but pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin-y instead of like coffee-y. And we added some old coffee I had sitting around from this morning. It was from today.
It sounds bad. You're all old coffee.
Sometimes it's old coffee from yesterday, and I don't discriminate against that coffee either. No, if I want an iced coffee from old coffee, I'm going to do it.
Iced coffee wants to be iced coffee. It's going to happen. So we put that in it and
we put
ice.
A liberal amount of pumpkin spice liqueur, ice, and a splash of coffee, and it's delicious.
And we put a little creamer in it. Non-dairy creamer.
No, not non-dairy.
Yeah, just because it's like a little rough.
Yeah, otherwise it was like a little too like alcohol coffee-y. Although I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it, but it like tastes better.
Yes, richer.
We made it like
more rich.
A real pumpkin spice, not latte, because it's
pumpkin
not a latte.
Spice alcohol latte.
But there's no latte.
There's no latte. Pumpkin spice non-latte cocktail. Pumpkin spice cocktail.
Pumpkin spice iced
cocktail.
Coffee cocktail. I don't know what's happening
2
right
hours later. I'm like, spice liqueur, pumpkin, coffee. How many
so
words
long.
can we put in
so
this
long.
title? It's a big fucking drink.
So now we're going to have some friends share their candy.
And happy all the horror.
Hashtag all the horror.
At all the horror 18.
Go.
Hello, two girls on a bench. It's Lisa and Sam from I Shake My Head.
Hi there.
Lisa, they asked us a question.
I know, we need to give them an answer.
Well, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Always I go to the mini crispy crunches.
Oh, little chocolate bars.
Always. What about you?
Mine are Starbursts.
Oh.
Yes, I like the packages of Starbursts.
Always going to the candy.
Always, always.
I feel like we should do a soft intro. I mean, not an intro. We should do a cold open.
Like, hey,
jelly.
bean.
No. Chocolate.
Covered.
No.
What?
Sour.
Patch.
No.
Really? None of these. I'm not getting any right.
No, we're supposed to ping pong back and forth.
That's what I did.
Types of candy.
Those were all types of candy.
No, you're supposed to ping pong in another category.
Then why are you only saying the first part of things?
Because I'm saying sour candy, jelly candy, chocolate candy.
Or you're saying like types, like genres of candy.
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Nut.
But
Hello. I'm Mike.
I'm Morgan.
And we're from the Bad Reception Podcast. We're here today to talk to the Two Girls on a Bench audience about our favorite Halloween candies.
Cue the spooky music. That was terrible. Michael, what are the candies that you look forward to during this very special time of year?
So I'm going to say the most boring answer because I've been seeing people post about it already about how it's everybody's favorite. I'm going to say Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but mini Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
You don't go for a pumpkin shaped?
I want the pumpkin shape. I want the minis.
Why?
Not pieces. I swear to God, if you give me Reese's Pieces, it will also be good, but I don't want that. I want Reese's Minis because there's more chocolate to peanut butter ratio, and it's good. It's gooder.
Why not the pumpkin?
The pumpkins are fine, but they're way more peanut butter than chocolate.
All right.
What do you got?
So for me, it's not necessarily the candy itself. It's the packaging in which the candy comes. Because if anyone knows me, and let's be honest, this audience knows me very well, I am a sour flavored individual.
I can attest.
Both in my personality and my candy choices. I love nothing more than the little Sour Patch packaging that comes out this time of year that only has like 6 of the Sour Patch candies in there. And then I eat about like 10 of them, but I feel better because it's a smaller package.
Right. I'm going to throw out also Sixlets, which is pretty like exclusive to a Halloween time. I'm sure they sell them year round, but the only time I would ever encounter them would be a Halloween candy deal.
I feel like that was the only good thing to come out of those, what I consider bottom shelf Halloween package of like, handout candies.
Yeah, the garbage ones you get 10,000 for $1.
One, because it's got like, let's be honest,
like suckers,
grandma candies. We got like
butterscotch.
Necco wafers are in there.
Probably throw in like a circus peanut. Like
Smarties.
Get that out of there.
But then the Sixlets would be in there, and it was like, oh, there's a welcome face.
Yeah, and it's
That's
fun.
An old friend.
It's fun. You pop them through the plastic, and then they pop into your mouth,
and you're like, this kind of tastes like chocolate. Kind of.
Thanks for having us on the show.
Okay, bye.
Bye,
we
guys.
love you.
Hello, I'm Rob.
And I'm Sean.
And we're from Movie Geek and Proud. This is for Two Girls on a Bench. We're here to tell you our favorite Halloween candy. Sean, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
You know, even though they get stuck to the roof of my mouth, I am living for dots.
I used to love dots when I went to the movies. I got those all the time. That's a good choice. I love my little mini Milky Ways.
Those are good.
I just love those. Those miniature ones are always a treat. I always go for them first every time I get a bag. Let me just also say, I think it is ageism that adults are not allowed to trick or treat. Just putting it out there.
Well, we can just go buy the candy ourselves. Just be smart about it.
I want to go trick or treating and get it for free.
You need to calm the fuck down.
But anyways, I hope this was useful for you gals. Thanks for posting our picks for our Halloween candy.
That's a lot of candy.
Trick
or treat.
Sugar high.
Yes.
You know what me and my friends used to say in high school? This is so random that I remembered this. We would do this thing.
I have so many ideas, but I'm going to let you talk.
About sugar. Not in general.
Just all the time.
That's like earlier when I said, did you see that thing I sent you?
Yeah. I was like, can you be more specific? Because like we are texting and sending things
constantly
all the time.
I know. I had to be more specific. So we used to always say, like, oh, we had some sugar, and then we would say sugar high, sugar low, sugar plateau. But we would do these little like hand signals with it. I don't know why that was a thing.
That is really weird.
This is pre-alcohol, so like you get all goofy, and we were like, I don't know if it was with like my tennis team or like a lot of my friends bled over between that and like just regular life, and so like I think we would like maybe after a game like get a candy and like lose our minds for a second or something, and we were aware of it.
Yeah. Or we would drink shit like Mountain Dew or Pepsi.
Just Coke or something. Yeah, just like straight
Remember
up.
Jolt Cola?
I never drank that.
I didn't, but my friends did.
They were risky. Now there's like Monster and shit. It's like, it's
That
so
stuff didn't
hardcore.
exist.
No, but
Yeah.
it's so hardcore now. It's like hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
All right. So with
Hardcore
that,
drinks.
go get your favorite Halloween candy and
hit your sugar high, sugar low, sugar plateau.
and hopefully do some hand movements and send that to us. We'd like to wait, that sounded weird. Don't send us anything with your hands. Nothing. No videos for the bench.
Nothing.
No. Scratch that. I will cut that out.
I might do a video of it so everybody can see like
Just you.
what it looks like.
And she's talking about hand motions to words.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm like, Shauna had no idea.
Yeah, I was not doing
No. Okay, and also, we forgot to say that the bench is on Patreon now. So if you want to come support us in a different way and get some goodies for your patronage, we're there. You can link to it from wherever or just search 2 Girls on a Bench on Patreon.
We have some fun stuff, guys.
We do.
Go check it out. Different levels, different stuff.
Anyways, have a good rest of your day.
We're what's happening right now?
There's too much liqueur in my coffee. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's happening either. You
Yeah.
just started laughing before you said anything. I was like, I don't even know what's funny right now.
You laughed with me, though.
I know, because it was weird. You looked like you were trying to hold it back, and then you didn't. And then it was just a big
I'm
laugh.
laughing with myself.
Laughing with yourself.
So after our outro, you might hear a couple more little bits of our friends from All the Horror. Make sure you follow the hashtag and the Twitter handle at All the Horror 18 so you can listen to all the great October content, all the cool collaborations. It's been really fun.
All the cool kids are on it, everybody.
That's
you better
right.
Go join us.
You want to be cool, don't you?
Yeah. You want to be cool, don't you? You want to listen to the Easter eggs after the outro.
What? Okay.
Okay, keep snacking.
Keep writing.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This was a podcast from the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
Hey you guys, this is Tommy Oler from the Let's Write an Episode podcast. My favorite Halloween candy is Snickers. But I can't have that anymore because chocolate gives me migraines, so Laffy Taffy, I guess. I'm upset about it, yeah.
Hey guys, we're the girls from Grave Girls Podcast. I'm Hawthorne, and my favorite Halloween candy is cookies and cream. I forgot how the song is supposed to go. You know what I mean? Cookies and cream. You know that song, Peaches and Cream by 112? I always thought that they were saying cookies and cream, and boy was I mistaken. But the candy's still good. Hazel's favorite candy is candy cigarettes. We don't have a name brand or anything like that. Just candy cigarettes. Because it reminded her of when she used to pretend to smoke when she was little. Hey guys, it's Amaryllis. My favorite candy is Milky Ways because they're really good, and me and Hawthorne's cute little grandma just loves Milky Ways, so we used to buy them all the time and eat them, and they're pretty dope. Alright, well, we love you all in case we die. Bye!